The sea is a phenomenal place where a world we've yet to discover exists. Today, we'll focus on the brave divers who've taken their time to explore the underworld. Don't get all excited yet, because I don't think the discoveries featured here were ever meant to be seen by the human eye. Gear up into your swimsuits as we dive into the deep oceans and seas. Just wait to be mesmerized. Number 15. World's deepest underwater cave. The underwater world is a whole other dimension that's yet to be discovered. But the latest findings left many in awe and disbelief. If you've never imagined crawling through an underwater cave channel, then cross it off your checklist, because this team of sea divers made it possible to get the experience, though only as an online diver. What was once confused as a sinkhole in the ravishing suburbs of South Africa was found to be the deepest underwater cave, measuring about 927 feet. Sometimes, I think divers deserve more praise than given. I mean, these people go above and beyond to unveil what wasn't known to man yet. For instance, I don't think this creepy underwater experience was supposed to be known to man. Not knowing the risk at hand, very few people have dared to go through the narrow cave. I'd not recommend any of you to risk exploring the caves, unless you're an excellent diver with a thirst for trouble. Number 14. Whales sleeping. If you thought you had the weirdest sleeping position and pattern, then I guess the sperm whales beat you at your record, scoring a 10 out of 10 with their 15 minutes only sleep duration. Catching them snoozing might be the most interesting and peaceful sight in the world. Luckily, some divers were fortunate to witness this rare phenomenon and even caught it on tape. Just look at their weird sleeping position. Why they sleep in a bunch like that is a topic for another day. Number 13. Shark egg. So apparently, it seems that the science teachers didn't tell us the whole truth about sharks. I mean, we all thought that sharks give birth to their young ones, right? However, there's a species of sharks known as nester sharks that lay eggs instead of giving birth to live ones. Very few people have had the privilege of coming across a shark egg, since the shark does its best to stick the egg between rocks to prevent it from getting lost in the water. You can imagine how stunned these divers were when they found an egg floating around in the water. Number 12. Submarine crossing. When a shadow towers over you in the dark waters deep in the sea, you just know you have to prepare for the worst. That was what this diver had in mind, after gathering the courage to turn and face the shadow behind him. Alas, he was met with the most fascinating discovery: a submarine. He was able to capture the fascinating submarine crossing over his dive path and continued to watch it drive away. That's not something you see every day, let alone experience. Number 11. Illusion underwater waterfall. For decades, Mauritius has been a tourist hotspot because of its breathtaking beaches. Yet this time, the thing that has caught every adventurer's attention is what lies under the ocean waters. A spectacular scene of what seems to be a waterfall almost at the bottom of the ocean takes everyone's breath away. Even though from a distance, your eyes may have you believe that water is what's creating the fall. That isn't the case. The waterfall is created by sand and silt pouring over the rock edges. Amazing, right? Number 10. Touch two continents. As much fun as it is taking pictures on the borders of two countries, there's a need to up that game. What better way to do that than to try touching two different continents at once? Impossible? Not really. This can only be done by diving into a fissure in Iceland. The waters are absolutely cold, but every minute of your life there would be worth the pain. You'll get exclusive pictures and videos that only a handful have the guts to take. Also, the water there is the purest you've ever seen since it comes from the glacial ice. Don't get me started on the rock formation. Mother Nature outdid herself on this one, don't you think? Number 9. Barrel jellyfish. Jellyfish are nothing but territorial sea animals, not only because they can lead to your demise with just one touch, but also because they can grow to a human-sized length. Take, for example, this barrel jellyfish that was discovered by scientists who were diving off the coast of Cornwall, UK. They had to stop in their tracks, because if they dared to swim any closer, its long tentacles would have shown them why the jellyfish is about to be crowned the king of the sea. Number 8. Shark Magnet Shark Whisperer. We've all heard and seen clips of the infamous snake whisperers exhibiting their insane talent. There have been cats, dogs, and even ghost whisperers. But have you ever seen a shark whisperer? Well, neither have I until I saw this video. It seems that this woman has some mystical powers known to her alone, or she's part of the shark kingdom. I mean, how is it possible that the great white sharks are so comfortable around her? She even pets them without having to hold out any treats to fool them into making friends with her. Number 7. Ocean Vortex. As much as the ocean is a beautiful place, it's also proved to be scary. A good example of this is the ocean vortex, which is a crazy whirlpool that's randomly located and can swallow you whole. Despite the ocean vortex being a dangerous part of the ocean, some people, or rather scientists, brave the phenomenon to see the hows and whys of the whirlpool. Crazy, right? But don't be fooled into it. This scientist had a backup in case anything went wrong. Luckily, they were able to get in and out of the vortex without anyone being injured. The trick, they say, is to stay as calm as possible and try to find your way out of the vortex. Well, good luck with that. Number 6. Underwater Garden. If you thought humans are crazy, say no more. The creatures of this garden clearly know something that we don't. I don't know about you, but this underwater garden called Nemo seems to have been created with the expectation that something happens to Earth in the future. Whatever the case, we can't deny that the garden is nothing but spectacular. It has so many thriving vegetables ready to be eaten, but unfortunately, they've never been sampled. Could they be better tasting than the ones we have in our ordinary gardens? If that's the case, don't you think we should plant all vegetables in the ocean and seas? Number 5. Underwater River. I couldn't believe it until I got a glimpse of this remarkable phenomenon online. Thanks to the spontaneous work of dedicated divers, we get to know some of the secrets that lie deep in the sea and ocean waters. It may sound far-fetched, but there are underwater rivers that exist deep in the water. Just have a look at it. Then I'll let you decide what you believe. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Experiencing this remarkable scenery physically is something only for the thrill seekers. Number 4. Sunken Treasure. A once-in-a-lifetime occurrence happened on the seabed of Caesarias after one metal detector beeped and led to the discovery of one of the largest treasure discoveries ever. The group of divers were finally able to live out the real-life dream of Mr. Crab and all the Caribbean pirates. Number 3. Spaceship, maybe? If you're still not convinced that somewhere in the world aliens do exist, then how about we try to convince you? In 2011, a group of divers discovered a strange, large space-looking thing at the bottom of the Balsamic Sea. No one could figure out what exactly it was, but its shape was unlike anything ever seen on Earth. Many rumors spread about what it could be. At last, scientists found out that it was a result of natural occurrences. Now, I don't know about you, but don't you think that Mother Nature is trying to give us some clues on something about aliens being real? Number 2. Sea animal torture. You'd think by now human beings would have learned how to be better people and to put a stop to animal cruelty. Well, it turns out that they've just found sneaky places where they'd practice their disgusting habits. I'm sorry to all the animal lovers, this won't please you at all. Deep in the bottom of the oceans, there's a place where they cane and chain animals for profit. A couple of divers discovered this heartbreaking practice being done on some dugongs on a very remote island in Indonesia. I bet the one practicing such animosity wasn't expecting his big secret to be revealed to the world. Number 1. So many tadpoles. What's the largest number of tadpoles you've ever seen? While swimming in the water, this diver stumbled upon tens of thousands of tadpoles swimming. Where to? Nobody knows. It was a good thing he carried his camera with him to capture such a rare event. Until next time, adios.